Hello everybody, and we're back with more trigonometry. So the last few lessons we've been focusing on calculating the size of an angle. For my class, we're now going to go back in and look at a little bit of revision, which is how you calculate a length of a side. So you can see today we're using the tan ratio, so tan x equals opposite over adjacent. So the learning intention today, at the end of this session, you should be able, confidently, to calculate the length of a side using the tangent ratio. Okay, we'll get straight to it. As I said, for some of you this will be a little bit of revision, and for others who are just watching the videos this might be new for you. So the first thing we always start a trigonometry question with is labelling the sides. So I'm standing at the 52, so I've got my opposite, I've got my hypotenuse, and I've got my adjacent. Today we will always be using the tan ratio. So you write down the tan ratio, so tan x is opposite over adjacent. Then we want to fill in the information from the triangle over here. Now the crucial thing to remember is that this bit here, that is where your angle goes. So I can see I've got a 52 degrees, so that needs to go in and replace the letter x. Then you know that the opposite side is called x, so that will come in here. And you know that the adjacent side is 14. That will come in here. So if I write that out, I will have tan 52 degrees. So remember the angle comes in here. It's then the opposite side is called x, over the adjacent, and the adjacent is 14. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is something called manipulation. What I want to get is this letter x by itself. I want to calculate what x is. The thing stopping it from being by itself just now is the 14. This fraction line means divide. In maths, we're allowed to take things from one side to the other of the equal symbol. If we do that, they do the opposite of what they did before. So this 14, which is dividing just now, if I take it to the opposite side, it's going to multiply, because multiply is the opposite of divide. So what this would look like is the following. The 14 would now be up beside the tan 52, and it would be multiplying it. So I'm going to get, if I move that 14 up there, I'm going to get 14 times tan 52, and that's going to equal x. The whole point of this is to get the letter x by itself. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. And I've just realised my calculator is not here, so give us a wee second, I'll get my calculator. Apologies for that. Right, so now my phone calculator. If you're using a scientific calculator, you can type this in a winner. 14 tan 52. You don't even have to hit the multiply. If you are using your phone calculator, it's a little bit different. So, in my phone calculator, I'm going to have to do this backwards. I'm going to have to do 52 tan times 14. 52, my tan button's over across here, tan, wait a minute, 52 tan times 14. Wait a second, problem with my calculator. Right, let me try again. So that was 52 tan times 14, and that should give me 17.9. Now this time we're calculating the length of a side. The other side is in centimetres, so my answer will be in centimetres. Okay, let's practice that again. So in the second example, again we start off the same way. We start off by labelling the sides. So I've got opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. I then write down the rule that I'm using. So we're always using tan in this exercise. So I write down tan x equals the opposite over the adjacent. I then fill in the information. Remember, the angle goes in here. So the angle in question is 71. So tan 71 equals the opposite side, which is x, over the adjacent, which is 32. I want to get the letter x by itself, so I'm going to take the 32 and I'm going to move it up to the other side, and it does the opposite of what it did before, so it's going to multiply when it gets up there. So I'll get 32 times tan 71 equals x. Go to your calculator. If you're using the phone, we're going to do this backwards. We're going to have to go 71 tan times 32. Okay, it's just the way the phone calculator works. So I need to go 71 tan times 32 equals 92.9 is what I get. Again, it's a length. The other one's in centimetres, so this one's in centimetres. Last example. Again, start by labelling the sides. So this is 23, so I've got opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Next step, write out the rule. Tan x is opposite over adjacent. Next step, fill in the numbers. Remember, the angle goes there. Tan 23 equals the opposite side, which is called x, over the adjacent, which is 124. Get the letter x by itself. Get the 124 up here where it's going to multiply. And now use the calculator. So I want to do 124 times tan 23. In the phone calculator, this must be done backwards. So I'm going to do 23 tan times 124. 52.6. Okay, so remember, you can rewind this video, you can go back and have a look at those 3 examples again if you need to, but it's time now for you to try your own. Now, in terms of the success criteria, the things which you must be able to do these questions, you must be able to label the sides. Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. You must be able to substitute the numbers into the formula in the correct place. Third thing you need to be able to do is use your calculator correctly. Okay? Let's try your own. So, there's number 1. Pause the video, give it a go. Right, so I'm standing at 32, so there's the opposite side, there's the hypotenuse, and there's the adjacent. I write down my rule. Tan x is the opposite over the adjacent. I fill in the numbers. Remember, the angle goes here, so the angle is 32. So tan 32 equals the opposite, which is x, over the adjacent, which is 15. I get the x by itself by moving the 15 over to this side where it multiplies. 15 times tan 32 will equal x. Go to your calculator. If you're using the phone, we do this reverse. We do 32 tan times 15. 32 tan times 15, 9.4 to 1 decimal place. Centimetres. I hope you got it right. Second one, same again, pause the video, try the question. Okay, start by labelling, so there's the opposite, there's the hypotenuse, there's the adjacent. Write down the rule. Tan x is the opposite over the adjacent. Fill in the numbers, angle goes here. Tan 43 degrees is the opposite, which is x, over the adjacent, which is 88. Get the x by itself, move the 88 up to this side where it will multiply. Use your calculator. So this time, again, in reverse, we want to do 43 tan. So 43 tan times 88. and I get 82.1 correct to 1 decimal place. Centimetres. Right, last one for you to try. Pause the video, give it a go. Okay, again label the sides, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent, write down the rule. Tan x is the opposite over the adjacent. Fill in the numbers, remember that's where the angle goes. Tan 50 equals, right, this time the opposite side, I've changed the letter, I've called it a y. That doesn't change anything that you do. We can use any letter of the alphabet for this. Right, get the letter y by itself, take the 23, put it to the other side where it will multiply. And then we're going to use the calculator. So remember, we do this in reverse. So it's going to be 50 tan times 23 if you're using the calculator on your phone. If you're using a scientific calculator, you can just type that whole thing into your calculator straight as it is. 27.4. And hopefully you got all those questions correct. See you next time.